What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Starkman, MovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And I'm also a member of Gallica, the LGBT Film Critics Association. So, of course, I was given, for my consideration, Sabbath Queen, which is a documentary about the Jewish faith and just in general queerness as as a broad sense. While it does sort of focus centrally on a specific person and their relationship to Judaism, and more specifically, like uh, I guess like conservative Judaism. I can't remember what it's called, but the less progressive form is where he's coming out of, and his own sort of reckoning with his sexuality and the story of sort of being outed and finding himself and going to parties and dabbling in drag, and there are other people that comment on their own sexuality because he sort of sets up this temple for Jews who need sort of a more progressive form of Judaism, which is actually really interesting because when you think about how Christianity functions, we have so many different forms of Christianity. You can walk into a church and be like, what denomination are you? And they're like, it's like a new denomination. You're like, I don't even know what this is. Cool. I mean, so Christianity is already like billed as pick one, what's your favorite flavor? What's your favorite flavor of Christianity? So the fact that they don't have that in Judaism, that it's a little bit more narrow, like there should be, you know, something like this for them. So, but yeah, these people find this community and this culture, and you hear these conversations with these other people. Um, this camera crew seemed to follow him for quite some time, which was excellent. I didn't get any audio description on this, so it's possible that he's just reflecting a lot, and it was like a shorter period of time than I thought, but it felt like the passage of time here was quite sort of pronounced. Uh, and his ordination, is that, I don't know if that's right, if that's what it's called, to become a rabbi. That ceremony and how much it meant for him for his brother to be there, the choices that he has to make, the sacrifices he has to make, and whether or not, to live his authentic self and make the kind of choices that he knows he should be making in order to represent. It's kind of a fascinating documentary, to be honest. I'm not someone who's Jewish, and to see all these different ideas represented in a documentary that's not like deeply entrenched. It's not a documentary right now that's deeply entrenched in what's happening in Israel and Palestine. I think it's like lightly mentioned at some point, which seems like a really odd thing to say, that you lightly mentioned. But that's not really what the movie's about. The movie is sort of about these people who feel like, they are Jewish as a people. They're connected. You hear people talking about how the grandfather survived, or the father survived, death camp, World War II, that kind of stuff. So, with all that there, it's more about identity in Judaism than it is anything else. It's not really about, but it involves other people. There's somebody who wants to marry somebody who's like a Muslim, and like it's like foreboding to do that, and how they look upon these marriages of Jewish people marrying non-Jews, and like a rabbi can't even attend a service like that. Not only can they not are they not supposed to perform it, but they're not even supposed to attend. So if their friend or somebody from there does it, then they're not supposed to even go to it, which is all sort of amazing because I have Jewish friends who are not married to Jews, and I'm like, wow, what was that like for you? I mean, like, somebody had to give up part of themselves in order to do that. And yeah, I mean, I think that's why you see these other things like Nobody Wants This, the Adam Brody, Kristen Bell sitcom that was on Netflix that is about sort of converting to Judaism and why how important that is. Um, because this is something that matters a lot. But on top of all of that, we also have the strong themes of LGBT culture that are woven in here as well, and a lot of that mixes in. So it was a fascinating documentary. And in terms of documentaries where the world is not on fire, and this is just like I'm here to learn and I'm here to appreciate and understand, this is definitely on the higher end of those. This could crack my documentary list simply because I felt like I I had an understanding and appreciation, even with the lack of audio description. To be totally honest, there's a lot of talking here. It's not going to be a heavily audio described movie anyway. But a film like this that doesn't really have this sort of attention around it right now. I don't know where the audio description is for this. If it, then again, I've seen some. It's weird because I've seen some really small movies have audio description. It's all about whether or not you want to or not. If you're going to put it on there or not. If you care. If you're if it matters to you, because indie filmmakers who are aware of people with disabilities and are in tune to accessibility needs are automatically going to make sure that that's a part of their film, regardless of what their budget is, because they grew up with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had a sibling that was making movies and they knew I needed audio description, they're not going to make a movie without audio description. So they're going to want me to be able to understand their movie. So it's all in just how connected you are and understanding the needs of accessibility. But I feel pretty strongly about this. Uh, uh, I kind of there were things that I wanted to have visual cues of that they were showing and scenes where they were someplace and I wasn't getting any context because there's no audio description. So I'm going to lean towards unwatchable due to lack of audio description as a grade. And a floating grade of an A minus because I don't give floating grades of an A because you can't float up from there. I mean, you could to an A plus, but A plus means to me, I only use that for films that I've watched many times and have sort of traveled into the upper echelon of my favorite films of all time. So, which is not going to do. Documentaries don't have a strong rewatchability factor with me. I've only seen it maybe 2 or 3 of them twice. So, I might be willing to watch this one again. So, if it had only if it had audio description. Yeah, I really like this documentary. So check it out. Sabbath Queen. It was a pleasant surprise. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.